Hello, it's good to have you back. I am so sorry for taking so long. I apologize. I have a lot of personal challenges going on. However, before we all panic, let's define what I mean by personal challenges. So it's I know that can sound scary. There's a lot of things that come with gaining a larger audience on whether it's YouTube or any digital space that most people either don't experience or when they do experience it, they don't talk about. Let's talk about the biggest one. There's a generalized anxiety, but it's not like panic attacks or anxiety attacks, at least in my case. In my case, it's like an imaginary pressure. There's like this inner dialogue where I cannot post something unless it's either the best video ever or I post 5 videos in one day, whatever the case may be. For myself, I think it's because I'm extremely ambitious and I have a lot of great ideas, at least in my opinion, they're great ideas, and I want everything to go well. As much as I would like to say that I have conquered this part of myself, but I think I'm still too much of a fucking perfectionist. This brings me on to my next point. I just want this channel to be a safe space for talking about either personal challenges or mental health issues or anything like that. Not like this is where you go for therapy or the place to go for your mental health issues, but what I mean is I want this community to largely be a place of rationality and progress. It's a bit interesting to bring up because it's mainly entertainment and it's gonna continue that way, but I think a digital space has so much more to offer because when you come onto this channel, you're not only here to watch your favorite series or a video or an update that I came up with, you're also gonna be around a lot of other people. I have plans. I'm gonna get to that because I have a Q&A to get to. Why do I mention rationality? Well, I think there is a general stigma that mental health or talking about personal challenges is like a touchy-feely, warm thing where you're like, oh, it's okay, you can do better. But that doesn't make any sense to me because the world we live in is incredibly different than it was even just 20 years ago. The idea of survival, at least for me, I lived in a developed country, I live in the United States. The idea of survival in a, for lack of a better word, in a late stage capitalistic society, survival is very different. So your mental health needs to be in tip-top shape. If you're not stable and strong mentally, that is like trying to hunt for a mammoth for food when you haven't worked out in like weeks. You're not gonna throw the spear hard enough. You're gonna be too weak to conquer. I have a tea today. No coffee. I think coffee is for special occasions because coffee makes me too wired. I'm already wired by default. When I'm sober, I'm already fucking wired out of my mind. So when I add another stimulant. Anyway, I've been going to therapy recently as well, and that's been serving me pretty well. It's been helping me understand the inner workings of my mind. That's enough of that. I'll probably talk about it more in the future. How about we get on to the Q&A. Banger says, what are your plans for the channel? That is a fucking loaded question. Let's get the two obvious ones out of the way. Discord. I need to get on that because I am looking forward to it. I would like a Discord channel for just the community to engage with each other and just have fun. However, I don't want it to just be a regular Discord server. I want to create something that has a grander vision. I know that's vague, but I think there's a lot more that can be done with Discord than we think. But maybe we'll just have to start with something basic and then improve on it. The second obvious thing is merch. I want to set that up in a specific way where they're not really manufactured until someone orders them, if that's even possible. Let's be real here. It's a smaller channel. I can't have 10 hoodies just sitting around in various sizes. I need to there needs to be a business plan here. The very first merch, it's gonna be a hoodie. That I could tell you. I actually kind of already have a design in mind. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Next thing, in order to, I know I don't have to make up for being gone for so long, but I think it's only right. Just think of it as a gift, like a Christmas gift for me, an early Christmas gift. My idea for making it up is, if you remember back then, or if you haven't seen the video, our very first crowdfunding thing was to get bacon from the store, and I would take you to the grocery store and we would pick up a pack of thick cut Oscar Mayer bacon. Well, now we're monetized, the channel is monetized, and we did get one donation. So my idea of making it up was to just spend some of the ad revenue. I'm gonna take the money that was donated and combine it with my own revenue, and we will go to the store and maybe we'll have some breakfast together. That sounds fun, doesn't it? Doesn't that sound like a great time? It's fun. Say it. It's fun. Go ahead. Next, I do have plans to live stream. I don't really plan on becoming a live streamer, but I understand that there are some games or certain special events where a live stream would be more appropriate. I don't know, this is just a broad example, but let's say for some reason I decided to start playing Diablo, World of Warcraft, or maybe even Skyrim. I don't know, this is just broad. Maybe Skyrim doesn't need a live stream, but for a larger game, I think it would be better for everyone to participate through a live stream, since I think some games are built in such a dense and open world. Just constantly streaming it would be better. That's just a generalized idea. I don't know, maybe it's just better for like farming games like Diablo, like I said. Charity events. I have I don't know what it is with me. I think it's because of all the struggles that I've been through earlier in my life, even now, to be honest. I would like to give back because I think it's an incredible privilege for me to be doing something like this, and I think being able to give back to a good cause, either provided by YouTube, the platform themselves, or something that we all choose together, I think that would be good. I think that builds an even better community. I think it weeds out all the other motherfuckers that haven't yet reached that part of their lives where they can't put others before themselves. The third part of live streaming, which probably won't come for a while, but it is a plan on the channel, I'm going to steal an idea from PewDiePie. He has a 24/7 live stream on Twitch that just has all of his videos, like a series, like episodes playing on there, but I have a twist that I want to add on there. There is going to be a high production behind it, and I want it to be like a TV network. I don't know how I'm gonna pull that off. I'm probably gonna have to assemble a team. Architect Industries, right? That's the big plan. Maybe a studio, have fucking Darman Studios. Those are the live streaming plans. Games! First of all, I already recorded the very last episode of South Park, which is the third epilogue. I'm getting ready to beat Resident Evil 0 and Bully. Bully has given me no problems. I just haven't gotten to record it. And I'm having a lot of fun with that. But moving forward past those games, I have a lot of suggestions. I have like Far Cry. I have one from a very long time viewer. I don't know if you still go by Looper or Abigo Habagu, but you've given me a lot of suggestions. RimWorld, Barrel Trauma, and They Are Coming. I didn't even read that just now. It's just off the top of my fucking head. I remember you. I have suggestions to go through. There's a lot more that I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But past the suggestions, again off the top of my head, is Red Dead Redemption 2. once I get a new graphics card. There's a new Amnesia game coming out in May, and then I may or may not play the previous Amnesias before that. I feel like deep in my heart, I feel like Amnesia might be a rite of passage for YouTubers. And I think Cyberpunk. We're gonna have to get through Cyberpunk, and I'm glad I didn't play it early on because it seems like the more updates roll out for that game, that it just keeps getting better. And the last part of this question, subscriber goals. I think after reaching 1,000, the generalized goal of just getting more subscribers becomes a bit less important because the channel's monetized now. But the goal with subscribers really is to expand rather than just a raw number. It includes bigger numbers, but to expand, like if I were to post more shorts of clips of larger videos or post on other social media platforms, that brings more people into the community. And I mention that because no matter how good the videos are, it's not gonna matter. It's not gonna be a larger, even cooler community if no one knows who we are, if no one knows what this place is. It's not their fault that they don't know what this place is. It's our responsibility to make sure we're known and that we deliver on the content. Thank you, Banger. That is the end of that question. Fucking hell. Jules Boy 6 says 4. Have you ever fired a real gun? I have, actually. So when I used to live in sunny California, I lived in Northern California, I actually took a firearms class, and my instructor was very cool. It was a 2-part class. The first part, we did not even hold a gun with live ammunition. I think it was a real gun with fake ammunition. You know, I got to disassemble it and everything. Like, I really went all in. I didn't want to be a fucking meathead about guns because, you know, here in the United States, there's a really big issue. There's a big gun problem. There's probably someone getting shot every day, to be honest, in this country. I wanted to, for lack of a better word, to respect the gun. The first part of my 2-part class was to learn about pistols, the handguns, the mags, and how they work. I learned how to load up a magazine, how to aim down the sights properly, how to hold the gun properly, how to use it in a safe manner, and also how to control it before actually piloting it. The second part of it was actually going to a firing range. I got to try 3 different guns: an M9 Beretta, a Glock 17, and a Glock, don't quote me on this, a Glock 19? My instructor had a pink Glock and a default Glock. God, I'm such a fucking gamer. I said default. The regular Glock, it had no modifications on it. Her pink Glock had a bunch of mods on it. Jimmy But Better asks, what pisses you off? It was kind of random. What pisses me off? I feel like these days, it's very hard to genuinely piss me off. I think what could truly piss me off is if someone doesn't have the desire to understand. Because if you don't make sense, you could just be uninformed about something. And I don't think it makes sense to be angry at someone for being uninformed. But that changes if the person does not want to be informed anymore, or doesn't care to think critically about what they said. I don't even care if someone has a different belief than me. I think that's normal. I have very close friends who have different opinions, different thought processes. I think that's normal, and I actually think that's good to be around. It's good to challenge your own beliefs. But as soon as someone doesn't make sense and doesn't take the accountability to figure that out and has no fucking desire to, it makes me want to just... Guloy asks, if you were on death row, what would your last meal be? I think if I were on death row, I would be extremely detached already from the physical world, so I probably wouldn't really be stimulated by anything. So I would probably want a very stimulating meal. I'd probably ask for like gummy worms and a steak and a Sprite. I like seafood, so I'd want lobster tail with the steak, but add some syrup on it and some pancakes. I just want it to be as like just something to make me go, oh, holy fuck, I'm here. I don't know if that's a good answer. Naughty Man asks, why did you pick the name Architect? Oh fuck, that goes some time back. When I first started the channel, it was actually just my name, which is Amos, A-M-O-S. It was just that, and I had no plans of changing it. However, I remembered two moments, one from when I was a child and one from probably just a year or two ago, where when I was a kid, my first dream was to become a computer hardware architect, which is to physically, and I guess in very like with little nanotechnologies, to design computer chips. And when I was older, I wanted to become an actual civil architect, not with bridges or anything, but with actual houses and skyscrapers. But I realized as I was entertaining both possibilities that I didn't actually want to do that, because I actually have tried to design keyboard PCBs before. I downloaded the software and everything to design it, and it was cool. I think having the end product is very cool, but the actual process of doing it is like, I don't know, man. I could probably do it, but it's not for me. And I actually had an interview when I was still looking for a job about a year or two ago with an actual architect, and I did not like that either. So then I asked myself, why did I want to be an architect? Why was that a common theme in my life? I understood then that I just loved creating worlds. Here's what I mean by that. I like creating environments, whether it's digitally or around me physically. I like creating communities. I like creating videos. I like creating businesses. I just like making things that pop up in my head and transferring them into the real world, or translating them rather, and having it make sense for everyone else. That is what I love to do. That is part of what I believe is my life's purpose, and I cannot live any other way. I realize that. I'm very uncompromising about it. I actually worked as an engineer before. This right now, what I'm doing, this is where I need to be. I understand that very clearly now, and it took me a long time, but fucking goddamn it, I am glad that I know now. Sebi asks, did you build forts when you were a kid? If so, how big was it? I did, but they weren't like in the movies where they looked all cozy and shit. No. I would take the kitchen chairs from the dining table and put blankets around it, but you couldn't really sleep inside because of all the wooden legs on the chairs. So it was more like a maze. I built like a weird blanket maze, and I put pillows inside, and I thought that was cool. I was like a little guinea pig or a hamster. It was not very big, but I was a small child, so if you put 4 chairs and distance them a bit, you could create kind of a square, like a small to medium sized square, I guess. And it was just me. I don't think I liked anyone else going in there because it was my territory. But that's I didn't have forts, I guess. I had a maze or a labyrinth. I built pillow and blanket labyrinths. I think that's what I did when I was a kid. Jody, if you could meet anyone, who would that be? Oh my god, dude, that is... I can think of a lot of people, but I think one that hits closest to home is my childhood. Is hero the right word? I don't know, but they were my favorite creator. I would meet this YouTuber who went by the name Uberhaxer Nova, or James. James is their real name, and they started creating videos around the same time PewDiePie started creating videos. They were a part of a group called The Creatures back then. I don't know if anyone still remembers them. And then they disbanded from The Creatures and created their own group called Cow Chop. If you don't know who Cow Chop is, you might know a group called Off Canny, which came from Cow Chop. However, James is not a part of Off Canny. And if you don't know who Off Canny is, maybe you know who what's his name? Schlatt is? Jay Schlatt. Jay Schlatt has collabed with Off Canny a few times, I believe. If I could meet anyone, it would be James. James and Cow Chop has been a very large inspiration for what I do today. And I would say in equal part probably Alex too. Alex was part of Cow Chop and the Creature Hub. I didn't watch his videos as much, but whenever I did watch his videos, they were really funny and entertaining too. F. Sebi again. Have you ever had a crush on a cartoon character? Tigress. I'll expand on that a bit. Yeah, I think the first that really comes to mind is probably Starfire from Teen Titans. I didn't really like Raven. Everyone seems to have a crush on Raven, but I thought she was boring. She was just very monotone and dark and wasn't fun. I can't think of anyone else, to be honest. Probably Blackfire, which is just Starfire's sister. I also liked Becca from the Cyberpunk series, which I haven't finished, but I know what happens to her. I think everyone had a crush on her, to be honest. What do you think happens when we die? I think we end up in a universe where everything is a Darman video. I think this gets highly philosophical. I think when we die, we have an energy that there is an energy in us that transfers into a plane of existence that we cannot comprehend. Why do I mention that? We are mortal physical beings, at least right now, in this time period we are. And that means we have a limited capability. I think technically everything has a limited capability, but for us especially, because if you look at other living beings like, I don't know, a cat or a dog, what makes us so different from those physical mortal beings? What makes us think that we comprehend everything? Because a dog doesn't know what YouTube is. A cat cannot comprehend what a TikTok viral video is. A bird cannot comprehend what starting a car is like. So we can comprehend those things, but who's to say that there isn't much more? No, I think when we die, there is something waiting for us that we don't understand. I think the universe generally understands if you were a good human being or did your absolute best to be good. And it will, I think karma comes into play in that, but there is so much we don't understand. In general, I just think that there is another plane of existence that we don't even know how to comprehend it in the slightest. Those are all the questions. I may do another Q&A in the future for a celebration for more subscribers, because believe it, we are gonna get more. This community is going to be absolutely massive. That is the Q&A. Thank you so much for tuning in to the greatest entertainment channel in the galaxy. I think there's gonna be a part 2 to this. Part 2 for the 1000, because I think 1000 is absolutely special. I'll see you later.